Alright, so today we're running into US2 and R3 we're going to do together. Real quick, Japan, interestingly, whoops, interestingly he brings me down here. He's got 3 transports that he moved J2 to 36. I don't like this play. I'm going to be able to defend India. I can build a destroyer in here so he can't go and attack Australia anywhere next turn. At least drop immediately. So it's not really going to do anything as far as slow up his shucking. He built 2 bombers, an infantry and an AA up here. He'll be able to come back and take Australia efficiently, but oh well. It's going to slow down. It's going to put no pressure really on Russia, so I'm going to be able to be a little free-handed with Russia up here in the German front and help just Germany collapse sooner, hopefully. So I'm not super worried about the India threat here. I think I got more than enough to be able to come down and protect into these zones. So I think I'm going to be okay there. I do need to remember not to forget this guy down here. I'm going to bring him into India. The other thing that I'll make a comment of is he built the one, he's got all these boats. Does he need 2 battleships, 2 carriers, 4 fighters, 2 destroyers, and a cruiser to defend against what I got? Because I got 2 subs, maybe a carrier, some fighters if he decides to try to push it? Or could he have spared 1 destroyer up here so that at least he'd be able to do the Alaska play where he could J3 take Alaska? Because I'm going to push all my Americans very fast this way. And this, I'm really open to a J3 Alaska. But since all he has is transport, all I have to do is move my sub into 64 and the transport can't unload in Alaska. So I'll protect Alaska just by moving my sub up to there. If he had a destroyer there, he could still do the attack. So just a gameplay thought there. And again, the destroyer here is going to help really make this to be really jammed up. And even if he next turn he brings this transport down here and he grabs these 2 guys and these 2 guys and this guy and he brings them all in here into Burma, I'm still not worried. He still doesn't have a strong lead onto J4 India either, for that matter. So especially since I brought my 2 fighters down. So that's where we sit. So for the U.S., my planning ahead here is this transport's coming back to 11. I know this transport's coming up here, and he'll have to buy a carrier if he wants to kill it. So most likely that transport's coming back next turn. And I'm going to have 2 transports coming in here to Sea Zone 13, ready to go into the Mediterranean. Now, because of my builds, and again, this is thankful for the tip on putting the infantry from the west coast here into Mexico, I'm going to steal 1 of these infantry, those 2 in the artillery. So I'm going to bring 4 attacking units down here. I'm going to leave the AA and an infantry. So normally I bring this transport to 12. Instead, he's going to come up to 11 to pick up the AA and the infantry. Or I could come out here with just 1 infantry, but I'd rather him just go ahead and get his load up. And then 1 of these transports here, the last of these transports, is going to come up and be picking up this infantry and AA. So when you're making your buys and your purchases, make sure you got all things planned. So thinking 2 turns, the 2 transports that come to 13, they're going into the med, so they won't be coming back. But this transport going to 3, he's going to come back. And I would love for him to already have 2 guys waiting for him in this East Canada. The only way that happens is if I build 2 infantry just for him this turn that I place here when he goes to 3, so that next turn they're here when he comes to 10. So my plan, I'm buying 9 infantry and 2 transports. So I'm going to have 1 transport coming back. He needed 2 infantry. I'm going to have this guy coming back. He needed 2 infantry. So that's the first 4 infantry. I've got 4 infantry needed here, so that was 8 infantry, so that left me 1 infantry left to build, and I could have built some AA or built some artilleries instead, But I'm going to go ahead and put 1 infantry in West USA to be able to come up here. Again, just to be a very mild defense to any Alaska plays that might come up. So that's our build, 9 infantry, 2 transports. I'm just trying to get as much green over this way as quickly and as fast as possible. Go. Gonna bring him, drop him there. This may be the sacrifice, the bomber sacrifice, the obligatory bomber sacrifice if you want to have success with your bombers. Come on, drop them all there. There we go. I could attack here, but I really want to go ahead and get my fighter into India, so I'm not going to. We're just going to spread out a little bit as it is. I think that's actually all my real attacks. The only real attack is the bomb, where we got to roll some dice. And let's see if we can't knock out some economy of Germany here early. Ah, it was not a sacrifice. Ooh, and a 5-hitter too. All right. I'm not a big, if you watch my videos, I don't SBR very often, only when I have nothing else better to do with the bomber. In this case, I really didn't have anything better to do with them, so. I'm bringing him up here just to protect from any German move this way. Again, I'd be surprised if he comes in here and tries to land a transport. He could blitz this tank, though. I don't expect it, but people surprise me. Gonna build up my fleet coming here. Gonna bring this fighter here. This fighter, notice this fighter in C Zone 11, not the transport, the fighter, can come all the way to here. And that's key because from here he can go 1, 2, 3, 4 and land in India on US3 to help defend J4, since he obviously thinks he wants to go after India here. So if I just brought him onto the carrier here, he'd only have 1, 2, 3, 4. He couldn't help defend India if I needed him to. So I'm prepping for that defensive India. There's his infantry and man. There's his infantry and man. We are going to go ahead and bring the boats advance as quickly as we can. Going to bring that sub up there so he can't land in Alaska. And I'm going to leave 1 to block here versus 1. And I'm going to go ahead and just bring 1 guy down. It may be that he comes and helps clean up these African units, or he may have to go to India. Again, I haven't sat down and calculated out J4, so I'm just going to prepare. I know I'm okay for J3, though. All right. I believe that's everybody. Moved and grooved. Put 1 guy there. Otherwise, we got 4 boats here, so we need 8 units. We've got 2, adding 8 to make 10. The other 2 are planned for this guy coming back. $31. Man, oh man, I'm a little bit rich on the Russian side. I almost want to build some more, another set of artillery and one less infantry, because I'm going to use up these 2 artillery, but I'm still going to have 2 from here and that one moving up. Yeah, we're just going to build some units. I'm really tempted to buy some other stuff, but let's not. Let's just buy the infantry. We're going to do that so that it blocks us in blitzing, so you can only get 1 of those spots back. We're going to bring 1 down here, 1 over to here. Because I do need to get down here, and I'm going to have to use my tanks to help with India, I am going to let him have Karelia this turn. Oh well. I am going to go ahead and trade Ukraine relatively heavily. Again, he's giving me 3 tanks. I want to make sure I kill them. I want to stack this. I want to be able to move this 1 infantry to here so that these 5 tanks can't blitz through to West Russia or Caucasus. So I want to make sure I take Ukraine. So I'm going to. And he's only going to have 3 in the tank, and then he'll have 3 fighters that can reach there. So 4 ground, 3 air. I'm going to have 5 ground, 3 air, and an AA, so we're okay. I'm taking that shot. Why not? I suppose I could have recycled them back since I am using up my artilleries, but oh well. The idea of possibly getting a bonus 2. Come on, hit him. Miss him. Rats. That was backwards of what it was supposed to be. Alright, oh well. I tried. Now I'll say, yeah, in hindsight, the smarter thing would have been to move him back to West Russia. Oh well. You know, after the dice roll, it's a lot easier to know what you should have done. Ugh, come on, we need these hits quick. I want to finish them cleanly. Oops. At least we traded back to more evenly that time. Get these last 2. There we go. Ugh. Alright, well, I guess I'm glad I came heavy. I was hoping to have a little bit more there, so he'd have to send some more tanks in there or something, but so be it. We'll probably 1 guy back there, 1 guy is going to come up here. This guy needs to go up to block these tanks from blitzing. This guy needs to come from blocking him from blitzing, although I'm going to have units there, so not that big a deal. And I'm going to put 1 down here just to pester, since this guy can only attack 1 spot. These guys will move up. And I'm not going to sit here and bore you guys because I didn't do the calculations, but I do want to do my J3 India calculation and see just how many of these tanks I need to actually send to India right now to keep it safe. I'm going to, in doing my calculation, I'm going to count that he kills this fighter. Although the chances are he doesn't, and most likely he doesn't even attack there, but I'm going to assume that he does kill him when I do my calculations, just to be safe. But I'm going to end the video here, and you can just look and see where the tanks are next turn.